Hello, I'm State Representative Mike Regan from the 92nd District. Today it is my distinct pleasure. I'm not much of an interviewer, but I get the opportunity to interview our Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary Russell Regan. Secretary, great to see you, great to have you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you, thank you.
Nice talking to you. So, this is the 100th anniversary of the farm show. Anything special? What are we doing to celebrate that 100th year?
Yeah, so we've done a couple of things this year to really try to capture 100 years of farm show. You'll see some history walls throughout the complex that was our way of sort of compressing 100 years of ag and changes at the complex, the event called Farm Show. We're in an area called the Farm to Shelf, and that really is designed to try to connect sort of production to consumption. There's this sort of the myth of how does the food really get on the shelf in the grocery store? How does that happen? So we're trying to sort of back up and say, here's what it looks like on the farm, in the barns, on the fields, through a process and on the shelf. So you're going to see that a lot through this farm show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So you were the Secretary of Agriculture under Governor Rendell as well, correct?
For part of that, just the last sort of year and a half.
So you had a hiatus, so now you're back. This is your first year back in the saddle as Secretary of Agriculture. What's it like getting back into the swing of things?
Well, you know, it's with some trepidation, right? Because you know the work, I mean, you know the pressure that was on to host any farm show, even in a normal year. Then you overlay that with the year that we've had. The budget is a challenge. I mean, trying to capture 100 years of agriculture is a challenge. You've got a whole new team of people in a transition you're doing this with. So you knew that part, having been through it before, but I have to tell you, all of that has come together very, very nice this week.
Oh, that's great. It's been a great show from what I've seen, but let me ask you about your background in farming. I guess everybody, if you go back far enough, we're farmers. What about your family?
Yeah, so I still grew up in Adams County. I still live outside of Gettysburg. Was one of 11 children on a dairy farm, number 10 in that lineup, so I understood delegation. So I got a lot of things that the older siblings would give us to do on the dairy farm.
Oh, that's great.
And then went to Penn State, graduate degree, and came back and really wanted to farm full time. My wife and I bought a herd of cows and farmed, and I consider that our joint masters in reality of just how much work it is. Had a great time, wouldn't change it for the world. You and I spent a lot of time talking about policies, right? If you want to see policy, sort of live that on a farm. So in the back of my mind, when I'm talking about Chesapeake Bay, or I'm talking about food, trade issues, or anything, always mindful that there's somebody on the other side of that that's got to make it work every day. It's a great teacher.
That's great. I'm telling you, that's so key to have our Secretary of Agriculture be somebody who actually grew up in a farm and currently works a farm. And you know, who would know better than you? That's fantastic. Okay, one last question for you, and it revolves around food.
Yeah.
What's your favorite treat?
Here?
Yep.
Yeah, you really put me on the spot now. Right? Yeah. So this is what I say. I've now figured out why there's 8 days to farm show, right? Because you can sample something new every day.
Yeah.
However, all of that said, I'll still take the chocolate shake. Is my sort of special treat here.
That is nirvana, isn't it? I had a mix today. I had a chocolate and vanilla shake mix today. It was my first time I had one of those. It was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I have a baked potato and a milkshake, and that's a happy meal. Right? So.
You know what? This is probably my 53rd.
Yeah.
So I've been to over half of the farm shows that we've had. Wow. My grandfather was a farmer, and we spent a lot of time on my grandfather's farm, and it's such a huge part of the fabric of this state. Yeah. And I know that you're acutely aware of that, but we appreciate you and all you do. I know the people in my district, 92nd District, which is an agricultural district, really appreciate you, and we appreciate how you get around, because I know I saw you the one time at the Northern High School.
I was going to talk to you about that, and I think in this display is part of that theme of this farm to school, farm to shelf, farm to table. You know, whatever we can do, and the Northern York School District has done a phenomenal job
with the
Food Hub and the Ag Science. Yeah. And the one thing that impressed me most that day we were together, with all of the farm to school programs, it's the only one that is integrated the Ag Science component into the program, right? So it's not an add-on, it's not an afterthought. They embed that right into the teaching, into the science, and of course, bring that culinary piece together. It's a great idea.
Yeah,
great job.
Mrs. Richwine's a good friend of our family's, and she does a fantastic job.
Great job. Thanks for supporting.
Yeah, she does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my first interview with anyone. It was a great time. I think I'm on the wrong side of it, but Thank you, Secretary Redding. Thank you for all you do. And this is the busiest man in Harrisburg for these 8 days.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for being here. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.